This episode is brought to you by the Slash and Cast Podcast Network. Learn more at slashandcast.net.
Welcome to my world.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Silver Screen Scream Show. My name is Kirby.
And I'm Jesse, and what the fuck just happened?
How you doing, you sexy bitch?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, honey.
I don't know why I did that. Literally, as soon as I pressed record, I was like, I must turn into this hillbilly. So I did.
Well, I'm kind of offended.
You
and
impressed?
Honestly, no.
Oh.
yeah. It was
You're like,
pretty
this.
good.
That was fucking ridiculous.
It was pretty good. So how's it been? How's life?
It's been.
Okay.
I will say that the growth of our page has been awesome. So
Yes.
thank you all for liking the page and just, contributing to the posts that we make. I'm glad some of the posts that we do make, there's a ton of people sharing it and commenting their opinions on them. And I just think it's great. And it's to the point now where it's like while I'm at work, I see all these comments and I'm like, God, I want to reply to you all, but I can't.
It's so hard. It is. I totally understand. Like whenever you said, oh yeah, it's kind of very, very hard to do that. And I was like, no, it's not. And then after I posted, if nobody has got on the page yet, check out the Megan Fox and Jennifer's Body post because that one went a little haywire.
That one's blowing up.
That one was, yeah. And so after that moment, I was like, oh God, he's right. Like I can't keep up with this. So, yeah. And people surprise you. This week I was very surprised at some of the people, like the comments and people's, likes and dislikes of either characters that we might have posted or films that we might have posted. I'm very, very surprised by that. There was, funny enough, and I know me personally, I don't really care. I mean, this character's okay, he's not like that, nothing major with me. But I shared a post about Shelley Finkelstein, and I wanted to get everyone's idea. Now, if you don't know who that is, he played in Friday the 13th Part 3. He is also the one who contributed the Jason mask that we come to know and love. Funny enough, I was thinking most people would hate his ass. No. I feel like more people liked him than disliked him, which is interesting because most of them was kind of like exactly how me and you were, like annoying. You know what I mean?
I can't fucking wait for you to make a post about Tina.
Well,
and people are going to shit on
I thought about it and I'm not
swear.
going to. I'm not because I don't want that. I don't want, no, I'll cry.
You'll be like, listen here, I fucking love Tina from Halloween 5. Who's with me? And then everyone will dislike
We'll lose followers.
They'll be like, oh, this is fucking ridiculous.
This isn't what I signed
here.
up for. But anyways, yeah, so we appreciate every single one of you. I think it's fantastic. I love reading the variety of comments. That's one of my favorite things to do and to see.
Yeah, there was a really fucking funny comment about the Shelley one where someone said too nerdy, and I was like, listen here, everyone's had a Velcro wallet at some point in their life. And it just cracked me up saying that. And he ended up saying, true, you caught me.
Yeah. Funny enough, the same thing kind of literally just happened just a little bit ago before we started this podcast because I had posted just a little while ago. I shared a post about the film The Descent, and I asked everyone, what they thought, what their ideas and thoughts were on this film. And he's around our age, and he said, love these movies. I saw the first one when I was around 11 or 12, and it was the first movie that scared me so much I couldn't sleep all night. And I was like, honestly, same though. And he goes, oh, those creatures were creepy as fuck. And I put, those creatures are the shit nightmares are made out of. And he's like, 100% agree. Oh my gosh. That comment goes out to Mitchell Beasley. If you're listening, that was your comment.
Yes.
Anyway.
I can't roll my tongue, so I just kind of do this weird noise.
Perfect.
But have you been watching anything recently?
No. No, I haven't. Honestly, since you've gotten me addicted to Dead by Daylight, that was 3-4 days ago. I have, whenever I have free time, I've been playing that and I love it. And
it's fucking awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I left off on Channel Zero Season 3. So I'm right now where Matt from last week's episode said, wait till you watch Season 3 and then tell me what you think. And I can already tell you I know what I think.
Man, I'll have to contact him and be like, listen, Jesse, finish Season 3.
Yeah, please do, because I found him on Instagram, and so I followed him on there, and he is so creative and unique, and I just love him. I love him so much.
Oh yeah, he's a fucking cool ass dude. Every time I see him, and he's doing photography now, and I'm just where I do photography, I'm just sitting there like, oh.
I know. By the way, I got a message on my Facebook that it was a shared post that you had shared to, I guess you shared with me last year, and it was of your photo of the Ferris wheel.
Yes.
It was under my memories today, and
damn,
kind of correlates.
I love that picture of that Ferris wheel.
That was, and I love how everyone thought that that was so fake. Like they thought you edited it to like the gods or something, and that's not even how that was.
No, I did some slight editing. Of course, everyone does that, but it's not like, that picture, that composition and everything, that was it,
Exactly. And it was a fantastic photo. Anyways.
Thank you very much, you sexy
You're
bitch.
welcome.
I literally, when I took that picture, I was like, I have to think of something. And I just pictured your face and I took that picture.
Oh my God. See, I knew I meant more than what I thought.
I know. I try to tell you and you're like, no, you're lying.
Oh my
God. What are we talking about now? We're just fucking off.
I know. Anyways.
Dead by Daylight though, I've been trying to fucking get you to play this game forever. I was like, buy it for PlayStation, please. And you're like, no, I'm an Xbox.
Do you want to hear what I did? Did Zach tell you? I'm an idiot. So I upgraded $1 more for the Game Pass, right? Now with the Game Pass, you don't have to buy the fucking game. You can just download it because it comes with the $1 extra Game Pass. Do you know what I did? Upgraded for the $1 and still fucking went into the store and bought it. Instead of going into Game Pass and downloading it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You dumbass.
Sure did. Sure fucking did. And I was like, are you kidding me? And Zach was like, I can't believe you did that. And I was like, I hate my life. Like that.
Have you bought any characters or anything?
No, but I want Laurie Strode. That I'm kind of hooked on Fin Ming. Yeah. I've upgraded her to she's level 15 or 14 now. I've went crazy. I won 3 in a row earlier, so I had a bunch of fucking points. And I was oh yeah, let's upgrade. So I'm between her and Claudette. So I go back and forth. But yeah, I want either Laurie Strode or there's a girl on there and her last name is Thompson, but it's not Nancy. Or maybe it's Nancy Thornton, maybe, or I don't know.
I can't remember.
I'll have to look. But anyways, there's a character on there that I do like because I like her clothes.
Yeah.
Obviously, here I am playing a horror game and I'm more obsessed with
You're the clothes is what makes this character.
Yeah, So I've got my favorite killer I actually enjoyed playing with. I thought it was kind of fun. I love doing the Halloween one. That one was easy as hell because that character is just so fucking slow. And the alien one really fucking freaked me out a little bit because I didn't know what to expect, But tonight, my favorite one thus far, there's this one that's a cowboy. It's called the Death Slinger.
Yeah.
And that one scares the shit out of me. Because he has that fucking gun and that thing that shoots out at you. And oh my God. Any fucking way. And I've come to terms with the fact that, you're all on teams and sometimes you'll get into games where that is the fucking case. But let me just fucking tell you, every fucking single time I get on there to repair something, one of them bitches decides to bring their ass to me while I'm working on those. Every time I'm like, oh my God, they're bringing him straight to me. And they just walk right in front of me and just go past like it's just no big deal.
There's no such thing as teamwork. They're like, take this motherfucker right here.
But mostly, for the most part, though, I have found that everyone kind of does work pretty well together normally.
Yeah, I remember when I first started playing, when I played as the killer, which you're not supposed to fucking do this. Everyone gets pissed about it. But after you kill him and hang him on the hook and everything, I would just stand there and wait for them to die.
That's what happened to me earlier in the game, because I was like, I wonder why that guy's just standing there. And then,
because when I first started playing it in 2017, I'd get people messaging me being like, you fucking bitch, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm fucking playing the game. What the hell's wrong with you? And now that I know that that's not okay, like, I hate people that do that, because I'm just like, will you give me a chance to survive? This isn't even fucking fun anymore.
Exactly. My question is, so I've noticed with this game compared to the Friday the 13th game that when it comes to heat seeking stuff, like in the Friday the 13th, that is not a thing in this game. This game, like, I hid right in front of his ass, open in plain sight in grass, and his ass walked right by me.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that. Addition to this game. It's so much more realistic to me. The only other thing that I wonder, can they see, is there different things that killers can do? I know if you run, you can see footsteps. But,
yeah, there's different perks that you can get that can help you find them.
Okay. See, like I said, I'm still learning. Zach loves the game. I mean, he messaged all of us, or you know how he loves the game. And that's what I was telling Sean. I was like, Sean, you just have to give it a chance. I promise you will love it. And he's like, I'm saving for a gun. I'm like, of course you are.
It's like, fuck your gun, bud.
Right? Exactly. So anyways, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I got him convinced. And here we are off on another tangent.
Yeah. Well, just to not talk about games for a second, I watched the original Black Christmas.
Yes.
That movie is scary as fuck.
Yes. Yes.
Like, I've seen it a long time ago, but I didn't fucking remember it. So when I watched it,
wait, no, I need this reaction. Give me your reaction to the scene where she's bending down on the door and looks straight up and sees his eyeball.
I was just like, that guy's fucking weird.
Did that give you like severe anxiety when that happened?
What did he say? He's like, don't tell him Billy did it or something.
Yeah, something
I was
real
just like, what
weird.
a fucking creep. Like, because it bothers me. It's like, you don't know who the fuck it is the whole time.
Yeah.
Even at the end, you still just know his name's Billy, and that's it.
And that's it. And, the film left off with him still alive. And, that never happens. That literally never happens.
That was insane. That movie made me very anxious and uncomfortable, I think, because I wasn't on my medicine for about 2 or 3 days then I watched this, and it definitely affected me in a way that normally I wouldn't be affected by it. So that movie is probably in my top 5 favorite horror films of all time now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
absolutely.
Beautiful. I watched what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say the remake to that, there's no comparison.
No. And even the 2006 remake, we're not talking about last year's remake. I haven't seen it and I don't care to.
Yeah, we're talking about 2006.
That remake doesn't bother me. Like, I've seen it and I'm just like, I can find enjoyment out of it, but it doesn't compare to the original.
I mean, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I can sit down and watch it any time, but at the same time, if I had to compare the two, there is no comparison to the two.
Exactly.
The original is just a whole nother originality. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a whole nother entity to me. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. I watched Prom Night.
The original.
And I enjoyed it. It cracked me the fuck up. The killer was so fucking clumsy. He's clumsier than the Ghostface killers.
Wait, the original or the remake? Because the remake is awful.
I like the remake.
I mean, the remake
is the original too.
How can I explain it? The remake is like Black Christmas remake. It's a whole nother entity. It's one of them guilty pleasures that you can sit down and watch, but it has you can't compare it to the original. You know what I'm saying? Because it just should have been its own thing. Original Prom Night, I actually did not like. I did not like that movie.
Oh, I loved it. It cracked me the fuck up. Like when he decapitated that guy's head and accidentally hit a wire and electrocuted himself.
Yeah.
I died laughing at work. I just blurted out laughing.
It's just going to have to be, I mean, we'll have to discuss it further at another episode, but it's just like that film, the pacing fucking killed me. I mean, it just did. And it was so fucking slow. And
yeah, I will say that it wasn't paced very well.
Now I will say this, at the very end, I did not realize I didn't put 2 and 2 together on who I thought the killer was, and I was very surprised. I was like, "Oh,
Oh man, I figured it out.
See, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even pick up on anything, but like
Yeah.
the ending of it, I hated the ending. I hated the ending because what ending is it? There's like, I mean, it just
You just find out who it is, and that's it.
and then that's it, and then the camera goes black, and there's that. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to talk about that. We'll have to definitely go over.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about that. Maybe we'll do it around prom time next year.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. And Black Christmas would be a wonderful one to go over, like towards Christmas and stuff. You know?
Yes, for sure.
So.
Well, Jesse, I think it's time to go to the news, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left.
Did you really put her liver in the mailbox? Because I heard that they found her liver in the mailbox. That she had clean in her pancreas.
Innocent teenagers. The blackest diet.
Leave her alone.
The devil's eye.
All right, Jesse, welcome to the news. This is your news person, Kirby.
I was waiting for you to say host.
Called? I don't
like news host.
Your news host, yeah. This is the anchor, Kirby. Getting ready to talk about some newsy news today.
Okay, let's talk about some newsy news.
Well, speaking of the podcast network, we have another shitload of fucking shows added onto the network.
I seen this.
There's a show called So Horrified.
Yes.
Sadie and Matt, they're on a search for the worst horror movie ever made. So they sit there and just watch these terrible horror films.
My life.
And then make fun of them. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just send them a Snapchat video of you and be like, watch this. And they're like, oh.
Yeah. They
That's
will be,
basically what happens.
That's that. I love that. That's such a good, that's a very good idea for a podcast.
Yeah.
So like good for them for coming.
I listened to their episode on Death Note, which, is.
I like Death Note.
Did you like the movie?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't hate it, but I never watched the anime. So
see, I've watched both, and I don't necessarily like anime. I mean, please don't kill me. Like, I just don't. And I didn't think I was gonna like the film, but JR really wanted to watch it, and his cousin was here, and I was like, fine, whatever. And I watched it, and I really enjoyed it. Like, if they came out with a part 2, I'd be all for it.
Well, so. I don't think that'll ever happen.
Yeah, I don't
either. So many anime nerds were like, "Fuck this shit! I'm done."
They were pissed, and so
I did like who played the monster. Fucking what's his goddamn name? He plays the Green Goblin.
William Dafoe, yeah.
Yeah, I fucking love him, so it was great for me.
Yeah.
Another show that was added, Crystal Lake Soldiers podcast.
Yes.
4 friends talk about movies, video games, wrestling, and whatever else seems to interest them. Everyone should check them out. There's another show called the Punk Rock Horror Podcast, which is fucking awesome. I listened to an episode they did this past week where they talked about the religion of Satanism and how people have
misconstrued it.
Yeah. It's basically, people think Satanism is literally about worshiping the devil, and it has literally nothing to do with the devil. Like, they don't worship the devil whatsoever.
More so about,
they're atheists, basically.
Yeah. Basically, it's basically has something to do with more or less you're your own God in a way.
Yeah. Yep. So it was interesting, that episode, and how horror films have basically used that religion to interpret their films, and some people, a lot of people, just get the wrong idea of it. Talk about some interesting things during the Satanic Panic and why people think Satanism is, this bad thing. Everyone check it out. I'm not going to be talking about the religion of Satanism here, but
I don't know where the hell you were going. Like, I
know. The episode, it was actually really interesting to hear what these, the facts on this stuff. It was just crazy, but check it out. Their name's Matt and Cody, and, a punk rock horror podcast. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, I love it.
Another show here added, Kill the Dead. Haven't got to check them out yet, but it's a horror comedy podcast, and they do rants and ramblings.
Yeah, rants and ramblings, so they'd fit in right with our crew. So.
Exactly. Let's see here. We have another show that was added,
today,
on
actually.
today. Yeah,
It is
the Haunters podcast. Yeah, we follow each other on Twitter. I've been keeping up with their stuff on Twitter a lot.
I like this. I just read what they're about, and I like it. They love haunted attractions and houses. They visit local haunt attractions, and the biggest one of them all, Halloween Horror Nights. I love that.
Yeah. So we got a big handful of shows. Brilliant. More shows, the better. Everyone, I love connecting with this group of people. I think it's very tight knit. So,
yes,
it's great. But
I'm here for it.
Other news outside of the network, we had another loss in the horror community.
Who?
One of the actors from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. His name is Peter Lacassie, I believe is his name. And he passed away. And let me see what he passed away from. He passed Thursday, August 27th. And he lost I hate to say this, but he lost his battle with depression and he took his own life, is what it shows. So that is a shame. He was 61 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I can't express how hard it is to know people get so depressed that they feel like they can't go on anymore,
Go on anymore, yeah.
It's a shame. I just now read that, so if you can hear how shocked I am, that really bothers me.
It definitely does. It's very eye-opening whenever you see something like that, especially from someone who's lived. We see it somewhat common in young people, but it's like a different take when you hear it someone who's lived a very full life and still young and still has a lot more to give to the world. And very, 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 very sad. So.
Yes, it is. And for everyone listening and everyone that follows us, if you all are going through really bad depression and, if you want someone to talk to, even if you have people to talk to and you just want to talk to us, send us a message.
Yes.
And we'll try to reach back to you all as soon as possible.
Yes.
We
love
where we both
people.
work full-time jobs, it's hard to reply as soon as possible, like right then, but we will reply to the best of our ability. Yeah. So that's all I will say with that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We have something else here that I saw that was pretty interesting. Let me go down here. The Boys star Jack Quaid joins the cast of Scream.
Okay, The Boys. Okay, I gotta look this up. The Boys star Jack Quaid.
I've never seen The Boys, but he has a face that would work in Scream. So I can just say that. Like when I look at him, I feel like he kind of reminds me of a Randy type of character. I don't know if he will be, but I can feel it.
Okay, I know who he is. Yeah, he is the son of Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan. So those are big Hollywood A-listers. So yeah, okay, yes, he did. He had a very small role, in that film. He was in the film, the original film, and Catching Fire, which he made a cameo appearance.
What else was he in? Because I just saw
he was in the horror comedy in Tragedy Girls. He was in Rampage, which is kind of more action science.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was in Star Trek, the TV series Lower Decks.
What's weird is I've seen his face, but I guess it must be in the Hunger Games movies because I don't recognize him in anything else.
Yeah, probably. But this film is definitely gonna give him that push, I think, too. And I think people
Did you see when Scream's getting released though?
No, when?
January of 2022.
I just seen that.
That's a little bit scary, isn't it?
No, not necessarily, because time, preparation, COVID. You got to think. When can they do the film? Shoot it.
Yeah, but a lot of films that they just want to throw away is released in January.
And
that's what makes me nervous.
But you have to think this might be their last one, and it needs to be, honestly.
I don't know.
That's just me, though. I mean, that's just me.
Makes me nervous.
The series has had such a tremendous impact, and I don't want it to spend 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 films. I think that they should end that series there because most of the films from that era have already been rebooted. and redone and re-sequeled and blah, 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 prequels, shit like that. This is one of the last horror series that is literally still in the original time frame.
Yeah.
So, I think this film definitely I think this should be their last one. That's just how that's just.
Well, we will, we'll figure. Yeah. We'll see. I have hopes for it. I think it's still going to turn out really great.
Yeah.
Because is it scary that it's being released in January? Yes, but there have been movies that's been released in January that have been fantastic. So, it's just, we'll see. I think Scream has a big cult following. And when it's released, I think it's going to blow up no matter what. So,
right.
Let's see. Another piece of news that we have. I completely lost it, but I know it's here. Oh, yes. Haunting in Bly Manor trailer dropped.
Yes.
What did you think of it?
I did not watch it.
What?
I was at work.
I literally sent it to you.
I know.
Well,
I went to watch.
Bitch.
I watched about 10 seconds of it, and then somebody pulled in, so I didn't get to finish it.
That's what I would say too.
Oh my.
Well, let me just tell you, it looked fucking incredible, and they also released a 30-second trailer for the new Stand movie, which is based off a Stephen King novel, The Stand.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty good as well. Like, I'm pretty excited for it. That comes out December 16th or somewhere in December. So that's exciting.
I'm here for it.
But that is all the news that I have for this week, Jesse. Let's go ahead and get to the fucking potatoes of this episode.
The potatoes. Yes, our potato is something that I have begged practically Chris to watch and watch and watch. And finally, Matt from Gunn, you will be very pleased to know.
Yeah, no, really.
We got him to watch it, and we are going to be covering the film Haunt today, right?
Yes, it came out in 2019, September 13th to be exact, on Shudder. It is a Shudder exclusive, and it was good.
Told you.
I fucking loved it. I know it took me for fucking ever to watch it. Y'all kept saying to watch it, and I was like, and it's not that I didn't want to watch it, I just never got the time. So it was fucking incredible. I loved every second of it. It was the type of horror film that
we needed.
It's one of those films that I watch, and it just gives me that fucking good vibe. I don't know. I just finished watching it, and I was like, hell yes. That's how it felt through the whole fucking movie. I loved it.
I mean, I knew you would. I literally said that to myself. Oh, I watched it and by myself, and my first impression of it, I had not had, it like gave me rejuvenation for slasher films. And I shared a post a couple days ago regarding this film too, and it just did. That's how I feel. It gave me rejuvenation for slasher films, because up until that point that I watched it a couple months ago, it had been just trash movie after trash movie. And then I was like, I forget it. I'll just watch these old ones that I have not watched yet. And then finally I watched this, and it was an original, and we'll dive into that in just a second. And it was unlike anything else, which I guess is the same thing as an original, I guess. But I mean, that's just what it was.
Not like any other movie. It was original.
It was original.
It wasn't like anything else. So.
It really wasn't. I mean, it was so. I think when they were so smart about this film, and they done it so crafty. And at the beginning of it, I kind of thought, okay. And then well, not even the beginning. That feeling lasted maybe less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it's just like it dived right fucking in there. And I'll talk about this in a minute, of course, but there's not much negative here for when it comes to this film. So. It's
not even a negative. It's just one little thing I pointed out and knew that it was going to happen, but I will point it out here in a little while. I'll explain it to you.
Okay. All right.
But what we do with these episodes, with our movie episodes, with films that have came out before 2020. So like say it's 2020 now. So if there's a movie that hasn't came out in 2020, we're not going to do a full spoiler episode, just to explain it for people that are just now listening. So movies from 2019 and back, we basically just summarize it. Yeah. And we just talk about the characters we like. We talk about the characters, some fun facts about it and everything like that.
Yeah.
And, it seems to have been working out pretty good for us. I think I really like this style with our film episodes because, we're not really...
We're no like professional by any means when it comes to this thing, and if you are listening who has listened from the very beginning, you will know that because our first few movie reviews was every fucking where. So me and Chris had to come up with something more structured, didn't we?
Yes. So I was like, you know what? We'll just do this with older movies, and then for the new movies that just came out, we'll do full spoiler reviews.
Yeah,
so
I'm here for it. All right,
let's hear some fun facts about this fucking movie, Jesse.
I have them. Okay, filmmakers Scott Beck and Brian Woods wrote this script for Haunt while they were also writing the screenplay for A Quiet Place in 2018, without the expectation that either film would ever get made. Isn't that interesting?
Damn.
And both films were a success. That's the thing. Like, not only did they not think that it actually would happen, but they didn't I'm sure, think that they would both be as successful and as loved as both of them are. Production was halted when a man was stabbed in the police shooting near the Cal Poly Pomona. Oh, that's interesting. Campus. This film, Chris, you're going to love this. This film was actually filmed in Fort Thomas, Kentucky.
Hey! Yes! That's where we're from for people that don't understand.
Yeah, people didn't know that. That's actually where
Kentucky.
We're from Kentucky. Yeah. Okay. So, there's not much trivia, so this is the last one I have on this one. When the characters' phones were being checked, the second phone has a picture of the I-74 bridge that connects to Bettendorf, Iowa, and Moline, Illinois on the lock screen. The directors are from this area known as the Quad Cities, sorry. I said Quaid. So that's pretty cool. So the directors added a touch of their own life into the film, and I think that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
So, yeah. That's basically the trivia we have on this. There is a goof. When the characters' phones were being checked before destroyed, the first phone dropped said Monday, November 20th. The other phone said November 1st, which was the correct date, being after the midnight of Halloween. Interesting. I love finding little goofs, like little things that, because when you're in production and you're trying to get a movie out on time and you have a deadline, you look at it and look at it and look at it, and that just shows imperfection, and I love imperfection because that just makes me love it so much more. So I really, really enjoyed this. Was this Shudder's first original film?
No, I don't think so. I think Shudder did a few originals beforehand, but this one was a good one.
This one was a good one. In all honesty, this, if no one has seen this film, please watch it because you won't regret it. I mean, you just won't.
Do you want to know who was a producer of this film?
No, tell me.
Eli Roth.
Really? Yes, I seen that. I knew that. Yeah.
I just looked at this and I was like, oh, Eli Roth did this.
Is pretty. When I seen that, because I can remember thinking, okay, well, this is gonna go one of two ways because nothing against Eli Roth because I love him, and his work, but his work is very. Let me just put it to you this way: you can tell what's an Eli Roth film and what's not an Eli Roth film. Yeah. So I immediately was thinking, okay, well, okay. We'll see, but it honestly, no, it was not like I wouldn't even.
Yeah, I was about to say, watching this, I didn't see any hints of Eli Roth anywhere near this.
Yeah,
so that's good.
I honestly didn't either. So I'd like to actually, if someone could let me know what he did, because I mean, maybe some things that stood out to me in the film, but other than that, I mean, really, it was just kind of cut through or whatever, So
well. That is interesting. Let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and read the summary of the film, and then we'll start digging into some of these characters. Okay. The summary: on Halloween, a group of friends encounter an extreme haunted house that promises to feed on their darkest fears. The night turns deadly as they come to a horrifying realization that some nightmares are in fact real. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and if you kind of need that little dive in from that, we'll branch out here for a good moment. I mean, this film is very cut and dry. You from the very beginning, you know how it's going to go. And that's what I said in the beginning. I kind of thought, okay, 5 minutes in, I kind of have a feeling. I know exactly what's going to happen. And then it's just nothing like happens. You know, and it's very, 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 how can I explain it? Very scary. Yeah.
I mean,
scary.
yeah, it was fucking.
It really is. I think
it was tense.
Whoever done the costumes and the makeup and the
An
prosthetics,
amazing job.
very good job, because the film was very well done in that aspect. And, you know, it kind of is very, in a way, I mean, because we go out on Halloween, well, before COVID, and we would go out and we'd go to these haunted houses, not actually knowing who owns these houses, knowing who works in these houses. You just take the chance because there's a whole line of fucking people there. Or, you know, you don't know. And it's like you go to this one, and this is just one of them instances where this wasn't planned. They just went, you know, and they just so happened to gone to one that a bunch of sadistic killers work at, and they work together. They do this purposely. And I think the one, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, there was one thing I wish I would have got to know, and I'm sure there will be a sequel. I don't see them not making a sequel to this. I just really don't, because the movie was that good.
Well, the ending, the way it ended, I was almost positive they were going to do a sequel until the very end, and I was like, well, shit.
Well, I think if anything, it might be a prequel, and obviously I'll talk to you about that.
Oh yeah, I can see them doing a prequel for sure.
Because that's the kind of thing I didn't get to see, and I'll just say it now. I don't care. And it was really just you know, the killer characters. These characters were very, very specific, and there was several of them that you got to see, and you kind of makes you wonder throughout the film, like, oh well, how long have they been doing this, or how many people have they killed, or what happened to them to make them join this cult, have this little cult group of Halloween cross country kind of attraction that, you know, they lure people in and then they kill them and whatnot. And so you kind of makes you just wonder, you know what I'm saying? So in that aspect, I would really hope for a prequel or some sort of something of that standard, because
I can see it happening. I really can. After watching it, I can see, I really do think it's a quality horror film that everyone should watch. I really do. Especially when it comes to slashers, this is a very unique slasher film. It really is.
Yeah. There's not, and I don't really know one in particular that I can like right off the bat that has stood out to me in a really long time like this one has, because, and it's so simple. Like the way it's constructed is so simple. Like they just go to a haunted maze, and inside this haunted maze, there's these killers, and they all get lured and trapped, and the chase is on. It's very, very simple, and it's very expected because you kind of know where it's going. But at the same time, it's like you don't know where it's going. I don't know how to. It was just so, you know.
Yeah, what I was getting ready to say is I saw it going one way, and it really went a complete different direction. When that killer talked, I couldn't believe he actually talked. Well, I thought that was, I really did think that was her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, so
I was sitting there because it starts off, you know, you see her with a bruised eye because she got beat by her ex and she left him.
Yeah.
So you think this is going to be a sadistic revenge type slasher film where he tries to torture her and kill her and her friends for her leaving and everything, because he seemed like a fucking asshole.
This is something I need to point out. Another thing, if you when it comes to horror movies, I love, like in Channel Zero, they have, I think I said Channel 1 earlier in the beginning of this, by the way. But in Channel 0, Matt would really enjoy that.
He's like, he did it again.
He did it again, yeah. But from Channel 0, they do this, and it's when the camera, instead of cutting and working on angles, they will set the camera in one specific spot for that shot or that scene. And that happens a lot in this film. And if you know what I'm talking about, when scary moments happen, like a chase scene or him breaking through the door, and the specific one I'm talking about is when they're standing there and she's like, run, he's coming through the door, run. And that camera is like in one angle. and it doesn't cut until the angle's done, basically. And it just shows him going right after him. And that kind of gave me anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Because like, that's the shit that, you know, freaks you out. Like, fuck, jump in the fucking shaft and let me get out of this bitch. Like, I don't want to be the last one to go in the hole and get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Or climb the ladder.
Yeah.
So, and in most scary films, you would see, you know, cuts to where the camera would close up on their faces to get their reactions. And it didn't happen in this film so many times. And so, you know, and whoever done the prosthetic and makeup, and it might be just the way he looks, I have no fucking clue, the devil killer, I mean, bravo, because if he was coming at me, I would have let
He's
him kill
fucking
me.
terrifying.
I would have completely let him kill me.
This will be a good segue into going into talking about the characters, because I have a lot to say about him that I think you'll like.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
We'll talk about the good people, and then we'll talk about the killers.
Okay. All right. So we'll go. Let me get scoozied on back to where the cast is. All right, we got the cast. Okay.
Hell yeah.
So Katie Stevens is the final girl. She plays Harper. And I'm just gonna, I mean, I'll say their name, but we know them as their character name.
Yeah.
So Harper is our main character, our final girl. She is the good girl who doesn't really give a shit that much about fucking Halloween. She's very low key. You know, her friends she just got out of this abusive relationship. You know, and her friends are like, let's go out. Come on, let's go. It's Halloween. Let's go. And she's in a sorority. So, you know, thoughts on her. I like her. I liked her in the movie.
I thought she was great. Yeah.
The acting in this film was one of the best acting I have seen.
Yeah, there was no complaints with any of these actors and actresses.
No.
I think they all did phenomenal.
Yeah, props to the casting director, props to the actors and actresses, because literally this was very good, because when it's so etchy, because all of these people are very new.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you make films like this, it's like you see these people and you're like, I don't know how this is going to play out. We've seen it done many a times and it's awful, you know?
Yeah.
So, the next, but yeah, Harper
was great.
Yeah,
and I really
complaints.
loved her, basically her little, how do I exactly say this? There's a part in the movie where she talks about how when she was a kid, she watched her dad beat her mother and everything.
Yeah.
And she basically explained that she lived in a haunted house, that she's been through this type of shit. And
it's very, I didn't even ever thought about that.
I really loved
you're right.
it. And
it correlated.
Because you could see in this movie that she wasn't really scared. I mean, she was scared, but she was a lot more calm and put together than the other ones.
She was very well under stress.
Yeah.
You could tell. The next character is played by Will Britton, and he played the character of Nathan. Nathan is the kind of love extension of Harper. He's the good looking,
the good boy.
He is.
I totally thought he was just going to be a dickhead, because when you first see him, she goes up to him and he's like, excuse me, and she's like, you waved me to come here, and he's like, I tried waving for a drink.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
yeah, you thought that at first, but you know, and it's like, again, originality. We thought one thing, ended up being something completely different. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, he was a nice guy, and
nothing bad about Nathan. Yeah, nothing bad. The next character is Lauren Alisa Mclean, and she plays the character as Bailey. Bailey is the fun, loving, crazy, let's go out and party girl. She's very there for the moment. Her character in this film, she gave such good. The acting with her was very well done.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Harper's, I point out those two because those two people specifically stood out to me as far as their acting goes.
Yeah.
Don't have much to say negatively about her. I didn't like that she was not in a good portion of the movie towards the end, because she was, you know, you thought at one point she's tied up, and that's what you find out. But before that, you didn't know where she was.
Yeah. When you find out, because I was just like, speaking of this part, since we're talking about her.
Oh God, here we go.
The part because there's in the movie where Harper ends up stabbing that person. I saw that person in the mask and I was like, God damn, I can't wait to see what that guy's face looks like. And then she stabs him and it ends up being her. And I was like, God, well, fuck, that sucked.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was thinking he was going to be some scary looking dude under that mask and it ended up just being Bailey.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly. So again, nothing negative to say about Bailey. I think it's a good.
There was one part that I thought was a little bit weird and it had nothing to do with her character, but it was the part where she finally got her arm out of that area and you see her arm start to bleed. The CGI there looked a little bit
off.
Not good. Yeah.
I'm glad you pointed that out because I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was a little bit weird because you look at it and her arm looked completely fine. And then you see like blood slowly start to ooze and you could tell it was CGI, but I don't know if they could have done that practically. So, because it was like one of those things where like you couldn't tell there was a cut and then you just see the cut slowly start to open. So I don't know if they could have done that practically, but the CGI, that was the only part that I was like, it didn't really look that great.
Right. Okay, so the next two, I'm gonna combine them two because these are characters that did not leave a very lasting impression, and you'll know why once I mention them. Shaz, Raja, and Shulier Helford. Oh my gosh, those names. Who played Angela and Mallory, which was the other two friends. Thoughts on them?
They were just there.
They were there. I mean, yes, they gave the acting exquisite, very good. Their death scenes exquisite, very good.
Oh yeah, Mallory's death was awesome.
I loved that the film incorporated normal fears like arachnophobia, for instance. How she was talking about, I hate spiders, and there was that one that fucking crawled in that fucking coffin with her. Oh god, that killed me.
So we're definitely have to do an episode on spiders because me and you were both extremely terrified of spiders.
We are both arachnophobic like no other. So but surprisingly I thought that's how she was gonna die, and that's not how it at all happened. Unfortunately, one of the girls, I think it was Mallory or maybe it was Angela. No, it was Angela. I think just unfortunately for her, she was at the very end of the line to get out of that room when he busted through the door. So she so happened to
Mallory's death was very impactful though.
Yeah,
they saw that fake. They thought it was staged when that witch killed that one woman, and they were like, "Man, this looks pretty intense." And then they saw Mallory tied up just like that girl, and right before the curtains closed, they saw that witch put that hot spike through her fucking head. Oh, it was crazy.
And that was a moment for me where the acting really played a part. Really played a part in it because the acting of the reactions from that scene, that was a very natural reaction, and it was very, very well thought out for those actors. I thought they did a very good job because in most films we've watched, we'll see them just be like, oh, they died, I can't believe it, let's go, no, they had like a whole moment where everyone was upset, everyone was crying, it was very impactful. So yeah, props to them too. The next character before we move on to the villains is Philip Johnson Richardson, who played Ty Hoffman. Ty was, what's there to say?
I don't even really remember Ty in the movie.
He was.
I thought you were about to bring up Evan, but I don't fucking remember Ty even in the movie. Was he in the beginning?
Well, let me think.
I can't remember.
Okay, you know what? Let's backtrack. Okay, we're gonna move over this character because I honestly don't really remember him, and I'm looking at his picture and I still don't know.
Yeah, I think he was just in like the bar with them or something.
Yeah, okay, so we'll just move on from him. We're gonna just move back to another main character that was also with that group of people, which was Andrew Lewis Caldwell, who played the character of Evan. I loved Evan.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Don't have anything bad. Nothing. His acting was good. The only negative really thing, it's not really much to do with him, is that I really wish we could have seen his death scene. It was a cutoff. It was an off-screen death scene.
Yeah.
You knew what was going to happen, but I wanted to see it.
Oh, man. Wait, didn't the ghost ripped his fucking jaw and face off?
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't really like, but it cut from there. And
It showed a little bit.
I mean, yeah,
It was brutal.
I mean, we got to watch a full scene though of them sticking a rod through that girl. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
but that's it. Nothing major, you know. So I mean, but the character himself, I thought he was great. He was very for Evan. He was kind of the goofy friend that you have in a group, but he was very for himself in this film. So
he was in some good movies before too. He was in the first Transformers, Drill Bit Taylor, Tenacious D, and The Pick of Destiny.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
So I mean, yeah, you know, like I said, there's I don't have nothing really negative to say about any of the heroes. I guess you could call them, or the victims, if you want to call them that.
Yeah.
Of this, now I will say that Sam, who was played by Samuel Hunt, plays the ex-boyfriend. I didn't really care for his character.
No,
I know it's just a film, but I just immediately disliked his ass, and I guess that was the point.
Yeah, this is the one thing that I didn't like. I didn't hate it, but I didn't necessarily like it. At the end, he is strictly just a plot point to get Harper and Nathan away, because he drove with that truck and he came in for literally 2 minutes and then dies.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's it.
And it was just, he was there as a plot point to get them to the truck to escape. That was all he was there for. And I don't hate that, but like at the same time, it's you know, he was just an ex-boyfriend,
I know exactly
you know?
what you mean. I thought for a moment they were going to bring him in and he was going to save the day and try and like change everybody's idea of him. And I'm glad they didn't, because I wouldn't have. And I probably would have disliked the film.
Oh, see, that's what China thought. And I was sitting there like, as soon as I saw him leave his truck and the truck was still on, I was just like, oh, fuck no. He's just going to die. He's just there to have that truck there. That's the only reason.
So we'll go over some of the horror of the villains of this next.
Do you care if I talk about the killers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there is quite a good variety of these fucking masked killers. First off, I'll go ahead and go with the least memorable to the most memorable, okay?
All right, sounds good.
We have the zombie, which is, he is played by Schiller White, I think is his name. Sorry if I butchered that name, but he is the guy with the chainsaw, and the way he dies is pretty fucking crazy, because you think he dies getting shot by a shotgun toward the end, but he pops out of nowhere and ends up shooting this one guy in the head that's trying to help them leave. And they end up just fucking, like, putting this fucking machete into his arm and, like, keeping him fucking slammed into the wall. It's weird. He was, you know, he wasn't bad. He wasn't the most memorable out of all these, but he was pretty cool. Justin Rose played the vampire, which I believe he was the one that he didn't really have a face. I think he was the one that was just trying to help them.
Yes,
Yeah, he didn't really have a big role.
He was the one that really wouldn't die, though, wasn't he? I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
I think he's the one that got shot. Remember, he's that guy that's like, please don't kill me.
Yes,
I was just trying to help, you know?
Yes.
I think that was him.
Yeah.
I could be mistaken, though.
Yeah. Okay.
But, you know, I mean, he was there. He was trying to earn his quote unquote face. So he was just buying stuff for him. He didn't know that they were going to actually be killing people.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, I felt kind of sorry for him. And then you have Justin Markson playing the clown, which he is the guy in the very beginning that you see outside. He takes their phones. He seems like the guy that's in control of all this.
Yeah, he's kind of like their general manager in a way, is the way I looked at it. Like, he was the guy who kind of overseen the whole thing, basically.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for him, obviously, for obvious reasons, but even more so, I didn't really, I mean, there wasn't much there. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really feel anything for, you know, his character. And stuff.
I totally agree. I think his mask and everything.
I did. Well, really,
the last three I loved, but the clown, I mean, he was cool. You know, he was the last one to survive until he got gotten by Harper at the very end. But the next person is the witch, played by Terry Martica. Partika. And the witch was fucking terrifying.
The witch was terrifying. Yeah, I loved her. She did a very good job. Nothing negative to say about this character.
And the makeup underneath that mask.
Yes.
Gosh.
And
that is awesome looking.
Yep, absolutely.
I really did love her character in general because when they're in there and they see her, I mean, yeah, you think it's staged. You don't see her actually stab into this person when they see it because fog shoots up in the air and the curtain closes. So they're just like, man, that was crazy. And little did they know that she was an evil fucking witch. That witch was, in fact, a bitch. And she actually killed people.
Yeah, exactly.
The last two are fucking awesome. We'll go ahead and talk about the ghost played by Chaney Morrow. He played it off like he was just a normal worker. He was good.
Yeah.
He was like, I'll try to help you guys. He's like, you can call me Chaney.
Yeah, like he was
or
very...
whatever his fucking name was. I can't remember what they actually called him.
I can't even remember. But yeah, I mean, he wasn't really... I mean, I liked him a lot. Like I said, I was very surprised that he actually talked in this film.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked him.
I loved the part where, because at first they're like, we'll feel a lot more fucking comfortable if you take off your mask and tell us your full name. And he doesn't take it off, and he eventually tries to help him. And at the very end, toward the end, Evan is outside, and the ghost is standing there, and he's like, where's the rest of the people? And the ghost was like, oh, they're behind me. They're on their way. And he's like, did you still want to see my face? And it was so eerie. And Evan was just like, no, dude, it's fine. It's fine. I don't want to see it. And he's like, are you sure
Right.
you all really wanted to see my face? And he's like, I'm pretty proud of it right now. It's not completely finished. And you don't see it, but he eventually fucking kills Evan and puts a fucking hammer in his fucking mouth.
You're right. That was a very eerie part for me. And I thought, oh fuck, this guy is like,
and then you see his face.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was awesome. And I loved how they killed him as well.
Yeah, I did too.
And the last one, this one is by far the best one. The devil, played by Damien Maffei.
And Mr. Damien can get it.
Did you know where Damien, he also played the Baghead Man in The Strangers Pray at Night?
Yeah, he actually was featured on one of the other
Dead
podcasts.
in Santa Carla. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is actually a pretty fucking cool dude. When I listened to that episode, I was like, man, he seems so fucking chill. He was just sitting there cussing, and I was just like, I like a good man that cusses.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know. I was very mortified by this character. Like I said, they did so good on the costuming and the makeup and the prosthetics and everything. I mean, it was very, I mean, if I ran into this in a haunted house or a maze, I would run the other way or die once.
The scariest part that I saw of him was when they're going through that little tunnel maze, she looks over, and at the other end of the corner, there's nothing there. And then all of a sudden you see the red cloak like crawling.
Yes.
And I was like, fuck that.
Yes. My thing was whenever she was at the very end where the shotgun was in that bar, like in the exit kind of thing, and he was walking back towards her, and he was like saying something like, I can't wait to open you up, or something real fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
He's like, I can't wait to take off your mask or something.
Yeah, like that. And I was like, bitch, if I was her, I would have been climbing up them. I'd have been fucking shooting through the damn ceiling. I would have let him kill me.
And
I really
he
would
was
have.
Tall.
Yes.
When he crawled out of that tunnel and looked down on them, I was like,
let me see if it tells me how tall he is, because usually it does. Because he was a very freaking.
I don't know
6'1".
He's 6'1". He didn't look fucking 6'1" in that shot.
He probably had
he looked like
boots. Yeah, I mean, he probably had like a whole getup and stuff, so he's probably about 6'2", 6'3", or something like that.
I'm telling you, for Halloween, I would love to dress as him for Halloween, but I'm only 5'7", so I would never be able to pull it off. But I fucking love his costume. It was scary.
Oh, absolutely. So, basically, those are our characters.
Yeah.
And overall, none of them were really that bad. None of them were bad, honestly.
They all
of them
did
were
great.
very good. Yeah, most of them done very well for what we, the majority of what we got to see of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. All right.
Well, shit. I guess it's time to go into our final thoughts and then our review. Tell
You
me
wanna
your
go
final.
first? Oh.
It's whatever you want to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go. We both were about to say the same thing,
I know.
literally. I'll go ahead and do mine first because I'm queen.
Yeah, Queen
Okay,
Bee.
Sorry. Okay, so my final thoughts and review is this. This movie is amazing. Like I said, had not seen something like this in a very, very long time. It gave me a total rejuvenation into the slasher series of horror films. The directing of this movie was fantastic. The acting of this movie was fantastic. The costume and design was fantastic. The set and everything they did in the film where it was featured, fantastic. Like I said, give it a minute. Give it a minute because I know you're gonna probably think when you're watching, oh fuck me, it's one of the, I already know what's gonna happen. No, you don't. Watch the fucking movie. You need to. So if I had to give this a final review, I've never given a perfect score to any other films we've done. I did it for a moment for the Invisible Man, and then I took it back. So I think that one has the highest score though at the moment. I think I gave it like an 8.5. Or a 9 or 8 or something like that. But anyways, This film definitely comes in for my review on a scale of 1 to 10. This movie is definitely an 8.0.
I can see that. I really did enjoy this movie. What was I going to say?
Your thoughts and review?
You're correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Here I go. Anyways, exactly what you were saying. I think this film really took the slasher genre and did their own unique twist with it. I haven't seen you have like slashers that work together, like in House of a Thousand Corpses, they work together, they're slashers, but I don't know, something about a haunted house and something about these characters just really caught me off guard. It was a really eerie film. It was
very
a very kick-ass film.
structured.
So, yeah. It was straight to the point. There was nothing, you don't watch it and you're like, man, there's nothing to overthink about. It's just there. You watch it and you're like, okay, these fucking killers are fucking psychopaths. There's nothing to them. They're just traveling, setting up a haunted house and killing fucking people just to fucking do it because they can.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. And I love that. I love the basic structure of the film. I loved every character in it. I loved Harper as a character. I think she was amazing. Nathan was good. Every character I really enjoyed, and the killers were amazing. I think I would give this an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I could totally see it. Definitely. Like I said, there's not really much negative to say about this film.
No, it's one of those just straight, those.
It's a very rare gem. There we go.
Yes, you're right. And I can't believe I was so far behind in seeing this movie. It came out last year and I've seen pictures of it and I've heard you all tell me for months to watch it. And I'm like, well, I'll watch it eventually.
But in all honesty, I watched it for the first time maybe 2 months ago, and the really reason I watched it, thought to watch it was because your mom actually mentioned it to me. She was like, "Oh, you got to watch this movie."
I think that's why my problem with people, like my mom or dad telling me to watch something, I'm like, oh God, here we go again. But yeah. I've watched it and I was like, oh shit, this is really fucking good.
Yeah, it definitely was. I definitely would agree with you on that.
You completely lost your train of thought. You're like,
I did.
Yeah,
I did. I don't know what just happened. I just dazed off for a moment. But yeah, I agree. And I guess we'll just know now if they ever mention anything to us, we'll have to go with it.
Yeah, really. If my mom tells me to watch a movie, I'll be like, yes, mommy, I'm sorry. And that's how it's going to be. But guys, check out the movie Haunt. If you haven't watched it and you listen to this episode, I don't know why you did, but thank you anyways. But go watch Haunt if you haven't. It's a really good fucking movie. Totally recommend 100%. Let's go ahead and get to our closing of the episode. Let's go ahead and say that we're a part of the Slash and Cast podcast network. We have a shit ton of shows that you can listen to, such as Make Every Death Count, We Came From Beneath the Sea, Dead in Santa Carla, Scream Queens podcast, and so many other shows.
So much more.
The Lane Shift, Slasher Cast, just so many shows that we've had just in this month, this last month. So many have been added. It's awesome. Check out those shows. Support everyone. I think they all, I was telling some people on the Discord server that we have that we're, we all are talented. We all have our own unique voice in the horror community, and I really love that. Everything's so different in each show, and I respect that. I love it. If you need to message us, though, you can message us on Facebook or Twitter, or email us at thesilverscreenscreamshow@gmail.com. Message us on Instagram, too. Message us on all 3 platforms. Literally type in the Silver Screen Scream Show. We're right there.
We are right there. That was a very good one.
I know.
Like
I was pretty smooth.
You got like real close to the mic and was like,
we're right there.
Anyways.
Rate us a 5-star review on your favorite podcasting app. Apple Podcasts. If you don't use Apple Podcasts, just get on Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star review.
Yeah,
just
get on
boys, these are my brothers, boys. They're the king of the crop.
Oh my God. Don't forget, we share things often. I love sharing character reviews and seeing what people's ideas of on those characters are. I love doing movie shares to see what people's thoughts are on specific movies. Like I said in the beginning of this, everyone is surprising me. I love reading the comments. I love responding when I can keep up.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm very grateful for that. So just keep checking our page for that. Because I try here lately, I've been trying to do at least three a day.
Yeah, our Facebook page is usually where our main community is at. That's where we're trying to focus our audience, but we do have the other platforms to keep up to date with everyone else on there as well. But that's really it. Oh, wait, we had a free t-shirt contest winner. I forgot to fucking say it.
We did. Who won?
You really want to know who won this contest, Jesse?
Oh my God,
I can't believe you don't know.
Is it Sean?
No, it's not fucking Sean.
Sorry, Sean.
He's gonna have to buy a shirt. No,
he was on there and he was like, "I just give me one, just like literally, just give me one." I'm like literally enter the contest.
I was like, literally no now because of the fact that you said that. You have to buy us a shirt. Like you have to buy a shirt and then give it to us. You don't even get to wear it.
Yeah, and we want a 5-star review, bitch.
Yeah. No, for him we need the impossible 10-star review. That's not even possible, but he has to do it. The winner of the t-shirt contest was Ken Burnett. He is actually a really cool dude. I've known him through Slash and Cast, and he's been there supporting all the shows, and I'm really happy that he won the contest to be able to get some of our merch, because he buys merch for all the shows. I don't think he's gotten our shirts yet, but he's going to be able to get one for free.
Yes.
Either of the 2 designs, he will be able to get that. And I'll message him on Facebook, and we'll get his address and have that shipped to him.
I enjoy his comments. He comments. He was one of the ones that I interacted with when I was posting, and I loved his comments, and congratulations.
Every time I live stream too, he's always there hanging out. Yeah. I was playing Dead by Daylight last Friday for like 2 hours, and he was just there chilling with me, and I was like, hell yeah, Ken, you're a fucking dude. He's awesome. He's an awesome. So congratulations, Ken. We'll message you, try to get your address, and we'll have that sent to you if COVID sends us to it at a decent time, because it took us forever to send Jenna Cannell her t-shirt, but we'll figure it out and we will send it to you. I promise.
Yes.
But is there anything we need to say, Jesse? Is there anything you want to say?
Sure. Just remember, everyone, I'm Queen.
Oh.
Okay. Anyways, have a great week, guys. Stay scary.
Stay scary, motherfucker.